Hello guys, in this video I will try to answer why buying Lenovo 2020 and why we have to skip the 2020 model and go with the Lenovo 2019 and especially the T line instead. So the new release of Lenovo T20 they come with many disasters. First thing, there is no extended battery. Okay. Second thing, lack of port, and they become thin. And the RAM is also are built in the motherboard. The Wi-Fi card is built on the motherboard. So you cannot swap, you cannot upgrade the RAM, you cannot do nothing. And when Lenovo decide to go in this wrong direction, they do two mistakes. Because their idea is to make Lenovo thin and to attract the Apple's fanboys. But by doing that, when your laptop becomes thinner, then you have many problems will occur. So when the laptop becomes thinner, that's mean the USB like this, it will be not fit in the machine physically. Not there, it will be no port for the USB. The internet cable, it will be not fit in your machine because your machine become thin. Make the machine thin mean that the thermal management, the heat management, it will be problem because there is no space to enter there. Like Apple. Why Apple suffer from the Intel throttling? Because of the thin. There is no thermal management. That's a number. Another thing, making the machine thin to attract the Apple fanboy in order to let them switch from Apple to Lenovo is wrong. Because in the end, Apple fanboy will never switch. Will never, because they worship, the Apple fanboy, they are worshipping Steve Jobs. For them, Steve Jobs is the God. They will not switch ever from Apple to Lenovo. No matter how Lenovo is thin, they will not attract the Apple fanboys. And making Lenovo thin, this means that you make this machine the Frankenstein of Apple. Because right now, if you compare the Lenovo, the thinnest Lenovo machine with the quad core, with the Apple, you see the thickest part of Apple is still thinner than the thinnest part of Lenovo. Because they are in this Apple in this line years ahead from Lenovo. So this will not attract the Apple fanboy. So by doing this, the meaning as in the by doing this, Lenovo betrayal the IBM community, the great community, because the community of Lenovo, they are the worker, they are the people who want the job done. They are not the Apple fanboy who are interested in nice looking machine that do nothing. So you betrayal, Lenovo, if you hear me, now you are betrayaling the IBM community, and by doing that you get a humiliation from Apple fanboy, a humiliation from Apple fanboy. And I will just want to remind Lenovo in the past, they mock and make a joke on Apple, that Apple is come with lack of port, unupgradable, everything inbuilt in the motherboard. And now you are just copying what Apple doing bad. Now the new lines come with no, everything is built in, lack of ports, and bullshit, throttle. I read a research about the new lines, and there is a real interest point on that. So that's what I was saying. Now, for example, when Apple did this, the Apple user, or the Apple, I don't call them user because they are not user, they are fanboys. The Apple fanboys, they stay under the mercy of Macintosh. There is no way to switch to another machine because the machine, the hardware and the software are made in Macintosh people. Okay, so there, here in the PC world, or in the PC, for example, Lenovo. Now, when they make this bullshit, we are not under the mercy of Lenovo because we can choose another brand. For example, Dell Latitude. But yeah, we can choose the Dell Latitude. Dell Latitude 7400, still upgradable, still include the Ethernet ports, include USB, and include the Thunderbolt Type 3. Okay, but the only problem with it, it's not come with the extended battery. Because imagine, guys, when you become fanboys of, you know, when you start make your life like Appleism, you know, the bullshit of Steve Jobs, you know, go thin. In the physiology, we have two hands. So if you get your machine here, imagine you connect your machine with a Thunderbolt, just in order to run small USB. You need a Thunderbolt just to run small USB. So the machine is like this, another Thunderbolt, and by connecting your machine with another component, that's make a more power and more work on the machine. Because when you connect your machine with the Thunderbolt, that means you need more power to read and write the new hardware, the new component here, the new component here, if you see it. While the old Lenovo or the old Macintosh, because before they start to make it, the machine thinner, there is a port. So there is no need to your machine to read and write new hardware. No, immediately when you insert the USB, when you insert the SD card, immediately will be read and write. In this case, in the new case scenario, the bullshit of BS of the Apple, BS of Lenovo, no, it's not like this. You have to put dongle bullshit, and this dongle bullshit must first be read and write by your machine. And if the read and write go well, which is not always the case, then it is good. Then you insert the other new HDB, for example, the USB. Also, the machine must to read and write the USB. And if everything go well, then you can process the job in this new case scenario. Before, no, the USB is in the motherboard. You don't need a dongle bell. So when the USB port is built in the motherboard, so you don't need a dongle bell. So when you insert the USB, immediately the machine write your USB. When you insert the Ethernet cable, immediately the machine insert the Ethernet, access to the Ethernet. Now, no, you need a dongle bell like this. So first you insert this USB Type-C in the Mac or in the new Lenovo. Then you insert this. Then the machine will read and write this. Then write this. And the reading and writing this require energy, more CPU, more computing power. And if everything go fine, which is not, then you can be able to read and write, and you go to the server and you make your job. This number. Number two, imagine because if you are working like this, your right hand, left hand side is here. Okay, and this is, so when you start working, first you put this. Okay, look how much time you lose. Then you put this part. Then you put this part. Then you put this part, and you'll be like this, like a tumor. Look at the tumor. Okay, so that's the problem. Before, no. And this will be loosey, because this will be moving, loosey, dancing, you know, and this is dangerous for the electricity. Cut on, off, then it will be damaged, the thunder. Therefore, the most laptop with the Thunderbolt face some damage. Or if you want to insert USB, wait 1 minute to show you the point. You know, so you have this USB, and you want to do very, very simple task. Imagine this machine is Mac or the new Lenovo. Oh, this is no XPS 15. So what you have to do? Look how much complicated. How much complicated. So first you have to insert the dongle bell. Okay. And this dongle bell will become loosey if you are like on go, because Lenovo, they says them laptop is for business, is on go, loosey. Then you have to insert this USB here. Okay. Then you have like this dongle bell. While the more comfortable for the human physiology, immediately you have this USB, immediately you put it here, and that's all, because you have the orientation. There is no orientation, it is not stable, there is no stability. This you have the orientation, here the USB, here another USB, here Thunderbolt, here the head jack. Okay, and as I said, by doing that, they will not when Lenovo make this bullshit, will not attract the Apple fanboys, because still the thickest part of Mac is still thinner than thinnest part of Lenovo. So they lose both sides. They betray the community, they betray the IBM community, and they betray, and they get to the humiliation. And what happened when when Lenovo start make joking on Apple, lack of ports, and everything is built in. Built in, for example, I have a problem with my Lenovo, my Thinkpad T470. The camera is not working, so I get the driver. I get the driver out. I get the RAMs out. Okay. I took the swap battery out and I sent to the Lenovo, because there's a warranty. So now I can enter to my operating system from here. from this driver, from this device. I just insert the driver here, and I can boot from any machine to my operating system. If this problem happen now and you have Lenovo or Apple dongle build, you cannot solve this problem. You cannot boot to your system because everything is built in. And if your system, and that's as I said in my previous video, the systems work on electricity, and there's a chance that you have bad electricity and you get some shock. Then you will lose all your data. If something happened to your RAM now in this Lenovo bullshit, then you will lose, you cannot swap the RAM and you put the new RAM. If you are a student and you buy a Lenovo with 4 gig of RAM, you cannot upgrade it in the future. Why? Because some crazy Lenovo CEO, he decided that nobody need to upgrade. He decided that no one need to upgrade the DVD. He decided that the electricity and there is no damage and no harm offered to happen to the Lenovo. The electricity of all the world is fantastic. He decided like that, and that's. Thank you. See you soon.